Hey guys, David here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So up here in the Northeast, here in New England, it is May obviously, and it is winter flounder time. So if you live up here in the Northeast and you fish, you should know about winter flounder. Winter flounder, I think, also go down to New York. They're in Rhode Island, Connecticut, and I can't remember where they go down to, but they go down to like maybe New Jersey-ish. They are down there. So I'm going to show you the rig that I use. Sorry, I'm just going to fix this quick before I make a mess. I'm going to show you the rig that I use to catch these winter flounder. So to make this winter flounder rig, first off, you're going to need some monofilament. I use 40-pound test because it keeps the rig pretty straight. And then you're going to need these Chestertown hooks, this flounder, pre-rig flounder setup. So that is because they do not sell these Chestertown hooks separately, sadly. You have to buy the whole thing with the bead, and it's already pre-rigged. So we're going to end up cutting those apart, and I'll show you why. Then you're going to need these plain shanked all-purpose live bait hooks. So these have the little tiny bait keepers on there, those little cut points on there just to help to keep the bait from sliding down, so you need that. All right, so let me show you what I do. I set those aside. All right, so first step, take one of your hooks out of the package, the Chestertown hooks, like so, and then you're going to snip it probably 5 inches above the eyelet of the hook. And then, oh, by the way, I'm not going to show you how to tie these knots because there's thousands of tutorials how to tie these snell knots, blood knots, and dropper loops. So they're pretty easy to learn, but I'm going to show you the layout of the rig so you can at least get an idea of what to do. All right, so after you snip the hook up here, about 5-6 inches, you set that aside, and then you're going to grab one of these plain shanked hooks. There's a size 10s. Grab one of those, and you're going to slide it down the hook that you just snipped, that section of line. So you're going to slide that down, and it should look like that. Let me put it on top of this for a second. And it should look similar to that when it slides down. And that right there, the reason why I put that little hook right there is after you slide your seaworm head first onto the hook, and it stops right there, you can actually put this little tiny all-purpose hook through the mouth of the seaworm to keep it from sliding down, and that is the toughest part of that seaworm. And if the flounder does bite it, usually it comes out still pretty easily. And you can also do the same thing with clips of clams or squid. You weave the bait down, and then you shove the smaller hook up here, this all-purpose hook, through the most, proximal part of the bait that you're using, and that keeps it from balling up down the end, because flounder have little tiny mouths, and if you allow the bait to ball up down there, they're not going to be able to eat it. So after that all-purpose hook is on, you slide on your bead, and then I'm going to show you the reason why you cut 5 inches of that. Leave 5 inches between the eyelet and the rest of that line after you snip it. So you're going to be doing a blood knot to conjoin this piece of hook in this section to the monofilament that you're going to be using as a leader. And with this small section right here, the blood knot actually acts as a stop for the bead and also the small hook, and that prevents tangling, that type of thing. So there you go. You go up past the blood knot about 6 inches or so, because you're going to be doing a pretty sizable dropper loop. And this is going to be for your sinker. So again, look on YouTube for how to do this dropper loop. And just make sure it's big enough to put your whatever ounce sinker you're going to be putting on there. I usually use 2 or 3 ounce bank sinkers. I'm casting from shore. And this rig also works well from the boat. It's the same thing I use, because usually I'm drifting on the boat. And then from this dropper loop that's going to be holding your sinker, you go up about 16 to 18 inches, and you're going to do a giant dropper loop right here. and this is going to hold another hook. So do your drop loop, and then you're going to snip one side of the dropper loop. It's going to look like that. It's essentially a blood knot. It's the same thing. And then you're going to hopefully have, after you tie that loop, you're going to have about 8 to 10 inches of extra line right here. And then you're going to take another Chestertown hook that's already pre-rigged out of the package, and you're going to actually totally take this knot off right here, so it is just the hook. That's all you need, and the bead. Keep the bead. And then you're going to do a snell knot eventually, but before you tie the hook on, you're going to need to slide the bead on. That will go on, and then your little tiny all-purpose hook will go on, and then you will put thread your flounder hook onto this this tag end right here, and you will do a snell knot, and then you should have about 6 inches or so of leader material to your Chestertown hook. Same thing. So when if you are casting for flounder or drifting, eventually it'll end up going close to the bottom when you're pulling it along. It should be maybe 2-3 inches off the bottom, or it'll be on the bottom depending on your angle. When you're casting from shore, you're drifting in boat, it should be fine. And if you feel like you need to get this hook lower to the bottom, you can adjust how far up this second hook is. You can maybe put it right here. Just be aware that you have a sinker down there. And then then back to this upper hook area right here where this dropper loop was. You go another, I do like 18 inches or so, and then you tie your barrel swivel on there, and that is it. That's all you do. I believe you can use improved clinch knot up there. That's all you do. It's nothing crazy. So in a nutshell, that is the rig that I use for winter flounder, and that is it. So I hope this helped you guys out, because sometimes people feel like they don't have a choice for flounder as far as flounder rigs, and you do. You just have to put in a little extra time. So this rig probably took me 5 minutes to tie, so I'll tie probably four of these rigs, because the type of substrate that these flounder live in, it could go from gravel to rocks pretty quickly, because they live at usually the edges, and just craps down there. If you're drifting through mooring fields or casting in mooring fields, you're going to get stuck. I'm trying to think where else they live. The mouths of rivers, the current might push your sinker and all that whole rig into the rock. So tie a couple of them, and then from the main line from the rod, I don't usually, sometimes I might just tie direct to the barrel swivel. Sometimes I'll use a snapshot swivel just to change these out quickly if needed, say snap it off or whatever. But if you like this video and you like the rig, please give a like and subscribe, and hopefully it helps you catch more flounder and keeps you out of the rocks and that type of thing, and just improves your hookup rate with these flounder, and it keeps the bait from sliding down. So if you like this video, please give a like and subscribe, and again, my name's David. So all right, thanks guys.